Well, actually, my wife and I were watching a happy hour musician, and he was very good keyboard player and vocalist, and he was, but he was playing. Keyboards have their rhythms and everything, and he was just kind of, and he was using a sequencer, and so he was just kind of playing along with that, and I'm like, you never see a drummer do that, and I'm like. And I told Chrissy, I'm like, especially with electronic drums, you could be as quiet as you needed to be, as they wanted you to be, just like a guitar player or a keyboard player or whatever. And so I'm like, I should do that, And then I told a friend of mine who was doing a guitar one-man band, and he was just like, you got to do it, it'd be great, it'd be awesome. It was in Tipton, Iowa, and I was scared to death, and. Because not only was it the first solo gig, it was the first nursing home gig too, and so I was just scared, but it went pretty quick. I thought it was going pretty, and actually I had come to think of it, I had a computer problem that day too, and so it really stunk. But after I got going, after I got that fixed and everything, then it was okay, and then. Yeah, it turned out okay, and then people were like, "Oh, it was so great, we just loved it," and then that gives you confidence, and then it got better from there. When I was 5 or 6, and before that, I would just hit hit the couch. I'd make drum sets out of ice cream buckets, and my older brother Rich came home with a picture of Kiss, and that was kind of it for me. That was just like, oh, that's what I want to do. So, yeah, I'd go to the weddings and I just look at I watch the drummer, or back then, in the '70s there was bands everywhere, and you go down to the park on 4th of July, be a band, they're just mesmerized by the bands,
Do you have a favorite song?
Oh,
out of the thousands that you have, is there one that you just pull out every time, or someone you really look?
Well, there's stuff that I do every time, because when I don't do it, they say, "Well, why didn't you play that?" And in nursing home gigs, that's In the Mood. Glenn Miller, In the Mood. You got to play it every time, otherwise they're like, "Oh, well, where was that?" I really like to play "Sing Sing Sing" by Benny Goodman. That's Gene Krupa's kind of his signature song, and. Boy, there's so many of them. I love them. There was two gigs. Two gigs come to mind. One was up in Mount Carroll at Henry's, where it was just a small crowd, but we had nice interplay, and it's like that was kind of a moment where I was just kind of like, I can do this, and then the other one was in June, where I played Park City, Utah. They have this thing called Silly Sundays, which is a huge craft farmers market kind of thing, and takes up blocks and blocks of the city. And there's 13,000 people that go there every Sunday, and through there, and got a great response from the crowd and from the people there. And so that was just really cool. That was a nice moment. One day I drove all the way to Iowa City, get set up for a gig, and it won't talk to each other. And I'm just like, what am I going to do? I actually I worked on it for like 15, 20 minutes, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, everybody, I can't get it to work. And so I'm okay with computers as long as they're doing what they should, But when they don't do what they should, I'm like totally lost.